Well, hello there, Apple Bites. This is your Apple Bite, Rafael Tavares, talking to you straight from Anime NYC. And we're here with
Tom Lintern.
And I was passing by, and the art of this caught my attention. It's just beautiful. It's amazing. And on top of that, as I go to Ninja Express so we can do that contest that we do in Ninja Express, he pulls out the book and goes, "Ralph, dude, you got to go check this out. He's right over there. I just got this book. I always get one from a con, and this is the one I picked." So this is just destiny, and I'm following the RPG clues to go to where I need to go. So now, tell us a little bit about your book and how this all came to be.
I actually started it back in early 2000s. It was just like a hobby. I just wanted to do concept art, so I was drawing characters and environments and things like that. And after a while, I started just getting an idea for a story. And I always considered myself an illustrator, but I was like, well, let's just go with it and see what I can do with it. So, I mean, for years and years, it took me. The story came together within a couple years, but then it took me absolutely forever to figure out, okay, how do I make a color comic book in a way that's detailed as I want it, and it not take absolutely forever, and look professional or whatever. And it took years and years of practice, and I didn't release issue 1 until 2015. I started on Kickstarter in terms of releasing it, and I've done 9 Kickstarters, I think. They all got funded, and it was just sometimes for 1 issue, sometimes for 2. I think volume 1, most people want a full volume, so I think that probably did the best.
I can see that. I get, the fact that you were able to do all the Kickstarters, it means that there's interest in here, so that's a good thing. And you were just telling me a little while ago that the way you work is that you see a scene and then you try to draw it out, right?
Yeah. I work from a script, but the script is very it's almost half-assed, to a degree, because I can only tell if it's working only so well. It's I have to go in there and kind of flesh it out.
Get down and dirty.
Yeah, totally. And then it's multiple ideas will come. And so it's kind of this back and forth process. I don't just start a script, finish a script, draw it. It's this back and forth. Or I'll do, both of those simultaneously. And then it's the draft will maybe have a couple more revisions. And then I just go into the final book with almost maybe a 70% done draft, because, or maybe a little more, but there's always things I'm figuring out as I'm moving along. Oh no, this is working, this isn't.
So tell us a little bit about the story. What is it we're seeing here?
So it's sci-fi fantasy. So it takes place on another planet, and it's post-apocalyptic. So 100 years or several centuries before the story takes place, there's this interstellar war, and there's different technology from these different races that fought. So the people that are on this planet, they're salvagers, and they have to try to utilize whatever technology they can. And some of these technologies they understand, some of them they can't though. And one of them is kind of this alien, kind of grotesque technology, and that's what Girrion is. And people are okay, let's stay away from this one. It's not functioning, just leave it alone. Yeah, let's just stay away from this. But in the beginning of this story is when this mysterious technology almost starts to reawaken. And it ends up being that it's it ends up being a catalyst for basically continuing this ancient war that had taken place before. And the main character is a salvager, factory worker, who just gets caught up into it. And the story just revolves around his whole experience.
You were telling me something interesting that you saw this and you were looking at it from the soldier's perspective.
Yeah. I think I've always just been fascinated with anyone who's fought in a war. Just how common it is and how frightening. It just seems the most frightening thing in the world to be someone who fought in Vietnam, be someone who fought in World War II. And so the story is, and it's so many just everyday people that have gone through this. I wanted to focus on just one person who does that in a setting like this, because his situation, it's something extraordinary in terms of his situation, but also a all this high-tech weaponry and like magic and stuff. So yeah.
I love it. It's good perspective. I like the fact that you're seeing it through the soldier's perspective. You know how it's going through his life. It's an interesting angle.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun working on this, man. This has been like a passion project of mine. It's just a hobby that's just gone out of control.
Well, it's a beautiful, passionate work, and I can see that you've actually taken your time and care and heart and put it into it. All right, so now if our fans out there want to find your book, because I think they should go check this out, where can they find you?
You just go like the title Girrion.com. You'll find everything there. I'm on Twitter too. You just look up the title, it'll come up, and Instagram.
Well, there you have it. Check this out. It is an amazing book. I've been led here like an RPG. The light is shining above, and it told me to come and check it out, so you should check it out as well. This is Written Writ Ralph, signing off.